Hello, and welcome to How Corporate Recruiters Gain a Competitive Edge with LinkedIn. My name is Rachel Chavez, and I'm a relationship manager here at LinkedIn. And today we're going to be talking about how to find the best passive candidates. Today we're going to be walking through a live demo showing you LinkedIn Recruiter, LinkedIn Job Slots, and our LinkedIn Career pages. So just to talk a little bit about the LinkedIn Professional Network, we boast over 135 million professionals all over the globe, adding 4 million new members every month and 1.5 new members every second of the day. We have 10 languages, 10 different platforms on LinkedIn, so we're definitely a global experience for all our members. So now let's go ahead and step back and talk a little bit about the LinkedIn network and the makeup of our professionals. Right now, we have about 60% of our LinkedIn members that are passive candidates. What is a passive candidate? First off, if you look at an active candidate, those are the people that are looking for a job. They have a resume ready, they're looking at many different job opportunities, and they're reading jobs and applying to the ATS. They're ready to go. And then there's the passive candidate. The ones that are not on job boards, the ones that don't have their resume up to date, and they only listen to good opportunities that would relate to their experience and their history. And so when you look at the LinkedIn network, we have a large pool of people that fall into the category of the passive candidate. So I always say, don't limit yourself to just the people that are looking. You have a whole world of people out there that also are ready to listen to an opportunity if the opportunity is right. So with LinkedIn Recruiter, we give you the opportunity to go out and find all the professional candidates that match exactly what you're looking for. We want to help you find the world's best passive talent. Expand your reach by accessing the entire network of 135 million professionals to date. You can contact them directly with InMail, which is our communication tool on LinkedIn Recruiter, and you can manage your pipeline with your team by collaborating and organizing all your work in one spot. We'll be walking through a demo in that in a minute. So to give you an idea before we actually jump into the live experience is LinkedIn's recruiting solutions is made up of a number of different products. LinkedIn Recruiter, our Jobs Network, Work With Us, LinkedIn Career Pages, and Recruitment Media. Here at LinkedIn, we believe that having a true solution set is very important to your experience and to your candidate's experience. And we want to make sure that it's as seamless as possible so that when you're looking for that professional out there, they know exactly where to go and all about your company and learn all about your company culture and why you're the best company to work for. So now let me go ahead and hop out of here and dive right into the LinkedIn experience. Now I've logged on to LinkedIn.com. This is what many of you are already familiar with. Anybody can be a member on LinkedIn for free. Join our network and you can talk with colleagues, past colleagues, friends and family, and learn a little bit more about your professional history and career and what you're up to today. What's really critical about LinkedIn.com is that people are on here for so many different reasons, not necessarily always looking for a job. But remember when I talked about the both passive and active candidates, know that if the opportunity is right, they're open to listening. So what I'm going to do is share with you a completely different platform. But before I do that, I want to walk you through the experience of a LinkedIn member so you can understand how your brand and your outreach impacts their daily lives. So first, as I log on to LinkedIn.com, what's really important is I can come in here and learn about the latest news through LinkedIn Today. This matches my industry. What's really important about that is I'm being served up information that matters most to me. And then I can learn a little bit more about my network. What are they up to? What are they doing? Staying in touch with what's happening in my professional career and bettering what I do every single day. So as I'm scrolling down and looking at what my network is up to, I'll notice on the right-hand side jobs you may be interested in. This module is really key because not only when you post a job does it get in front of that 20% of active candidates, but it also gets in front of that 60% by advertising relevant job opportunities to them. What we'll do is every time you post a job on LinkedIn, we'll serve up advertisements in this module on the right-hand side of their profile that relate to their experience, their industry, and their title. So as you can see here, I'm an account executive, and everything that I'm going to see is relevant to that history. So I'm more likely to click on this job and be more interested to apply than if it were something that was completely out of my experience. One other thing that I can do that's really, really important and that I encourage all of you to do when you post a job on LinkedIn is to share it with your networks. We have 5 different platforms that you can share it with: your LinkedIn network, your Facebook friends, your Twitter feed, LinkedIn groups that you belong to, as well as forwarding it to individuals such as hiring managers. They may know a bunch of people in their network that relate to that experience and that job, and it's a great way to get out to thousands of people within a few simple clicks. So after looking at jobs you may be interested, one of the other things that I'm going to do is check out my communication on LinkedIn. As I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn's InMail is our communication platform. So people do it every day. They're messaging their network and they're reaching out to people that are outside of their network to better understand what they're up to offer opportunities or business ideas. As you can see here, I'm going to check in my inbox and I'll notice a message coming from many different people. One thing that actually stands out is a message from Frank. Am I ready to launch my career? So the first thing I'm going to do is check out his message and read all about it. This is naturally what people do on LinkedIn. And from here, I'm going to take the opportunity to see what he's reaching out to me about. And then the next thing I'm going to do is check out Frank. Social media that's what it's all about. We have an opportunity to check out people on a professional level and on a social level. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to validate who Frank is. I want to know exactly if he is with LinkedIn and if he really is part of that organization. And so from here, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to check out Frank, confirm who he is, learn a little bit more about his history with the company, and that's why it's so critical to make sure that all your recruiters and people within your organization that are the front line of people coming in and learning more about your organization or your company, making sure that their profile is as strong and robust as possible. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and check out LinkedIn. Now I'm a little bit interested. He's piqued my interest. Now I know who Frank is. Now I want to check out LinkedIn. And so my next step would to check out the career page on LinkedIn. This is your hub. This is where you want to go ahead and make sure that you're sharing your brand, your culture, what your company is all about. You have so much time to capture that person's attention, to gain their attention and interest, and learn a little bit more about the opportunity that you just shared. From here, I'm going to go ahead and check out who I'm connected to, and that's what the overview page is naturally used for. People want to know who's in their network. How can I leverage these relationships? How can I get my foot in the door and get a one-up on any of the other candidates? Find out who I'm connected to with Frank, and then I want to learn a little bit more about their culture. By clicking on the Careers tab, this is the career page where you want to have as a hub on LinkedIn. As you can see, there's a great space for you to share that culture, talk about the jobs that you've posted, have people contact your recruiters, or even watch a video and learn what other people within that organization are saying, why employees love working at LinkedIn. And then of course benefits and perks, and then other places and resources that they can go to. What's really key about this is although you have a career site, we're not trying to replace your career site. We just want to make sure that we give them a destination to learn a little bit more about your organization. And then now that they're interested, because again, they might be one of that 60% of passive candidates, then they'll go ahead and go to these other resources to learn a little bit more about the organization and your company. So from here, what I'll go ahead and do is respond to Frank's message and learn a little bit more about that opportunity at LinkedIn. So now I want to know, how did Frank find me? Where did he go and what did he look for? So now with access to LinkedIn Recruiter, it'll give you a completely different platform to be able to access on LinkedIn. You'll notice here that the platform has different features, different modules that you'll now be able to tap into the entire network on LinkedIn. It's still tied to your profile, but now you don't have to worry about the restrictions or whether or not you're connected or whether or not you know someone and need to leverage a relationship. You now have at your fingertips every single person on LinkedIn. And what's great about this is as the network grows, your pipeline of talent grows as well. So what we'll do is we'll do a quick search on LinkedIn and then I'll show you some of the different features that are included. You'll notice here that you can create project folders to make sure that you're organized and collaborate with the team, whether it's your own private project folders or team project folders that the rest of your group has shared with you. And then of course you can go ahead and post jobs. One key thing about our jobs is that it's a slot model. So you can go ahead and rotate different jobs in and out of that slot anytime throughout the year. But let's go ahead and do a search first before we go ahead and discuss that. And then you can see how it all works into a nice workflow. By doing a search, you have a number of different filters to choose from. What's really critical about your role as a recruiter or as a director of recruiting or anything to do with recruiting is that you want to make sure that you're finding the right person. You don't want to have to worry about whether you're connected to them, whether it's relevant. You want to make sure that when you're doing a search, they are exactly what you're looking for, whether it's skill set, location, title, whether they come from a certain company and share that experience. So by clicking on typing in certain keywords, I'm making sure that I'm getting exactly what I'm looking for. Again, I have the choice of going anywhere in the world, but I'm going to keep it within the United States. But you'll notice that there's a number of different places to choose from, hundreds. And then, of course, if I wanted to narrow it down by a postal code, I have that option as well, and it'll give me a radius around that postal code to choose from. I can add a number of different filters if I wanted to really narrow it down. We always say just keep it as general as possible so you don't miss out on some really good talent. And then I'll show you in a second how to take that and narrow it down very quickly with our dynamic filters. So now we've just done a search, and obviously it's brought back a number of results to choose from. We want to give you quantity, but we absolutely want to give you quality. So by narrowing it down with the dynamic filters that you'll find on the left-hand side, you get 17 of these to choose from. And by clicking on certain modules like current company, location, industry, whatever matters to you most, you can easily click on a filter, and within seconds it'll narrow it down to exactly what you're looking for. So by the end of the search, you know exactly they hold all the attributes that you need to fill this rec. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take a peek at the profiles and see exactly who I want to reach out to. So remember when I mentioned about the InMail, which is the communication tool on LinkedIn? This is where you can go ahead and communicate with these profiles and these potential candidates and let them know about that opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a profile. Check it out. You'll get that snapshot just a second ago that you saw, but you can absolutely dive in a little bit deeper and make sure that this person is the right fit for you. On the right-hand side, you'll notice that there's a number of different actions to take. You can send this person a message right away, or you can collect them into project folders, as I showed you earlier, where you can get a number of people just like Mira, collect them into a profile, and then send them a mass message one at a time, individually, but all in one shot. By saving them into a project folder, I'm keeping myself organized, and again, I can share it with my team. Other cool features that are available that really help organize you and keep you efficient and up to date and in touch with your pipeline of talent are reminders. As I mentioned earlier, 60% of our network are passive candidates, but everybody's at a point in their career when they're ready to make a move. You want to be there. You want to make sure that you're in front of them, because what you do day in and day out is keeping track of the people that are stellar in your industry, and you want to make sure you don't lose sight of them. By adding reminders, you can pick a date when they're ready to make that move or ready to have that conversation, choose a time, and then from there, you can keep yourself a note to give them a call back. What will happen on LinkedIn Recruiter is on the home page, a reminder will show up. It'll connect you to that person's profile, and you can stay in touch with some of the very best talent that you've been in touch with all year round. Other features like adding notes, keeping up with yourself if you're a one-person team and just organizing who you've spoken with throughout the day, or you can go ahead and share these notes with your team. So what's really nice about this is that you don't duplicate efforts or step on anybody's toes. If you have a large recruiting team, what's really nice about this, you can see if somebody else on your team's already talked to this person, so you're not stepping on their candidates and really creating a seamless workflow for everyone. Other cool features are things like similar profiles. By going in similar profiles, if I think this person is exactly what I'm looking for, I can click on this, and what LinkedIn will do is now find up to 100 potential candidates that share the same similar experience, job function, and other criteria that we run in the background so that we can make sure to find people that match up exactly who you want. And now you can start moving these people into project folders and reaching out to them as well. Again, the custom filters apply to really narrow it down to exactly who you want. Once I found my criteria, I can go ahead and save this search. So what's really key about this is that one of the things that we want to do is, of course, create efficiency. So by saving this search, what will happen is as LinkedIn adds that new 1.5 new members every second of the day, if I name this search Social Media Manager, every time somebody comes into LinkedIn, it will alert me and let me know. So now I no longer have to run the same search over and over again to see if I'm missing out on new talent that have come onto LinkedIn and joined. Because now what will happen is I'll get an alert letting me know 10 new people came in that are social media manager in the San Francisco Bay Area. And now all I have to do is collect them again into project folders and reach out to them, and save me tons of time. So now that I've saved my search, I can go ahead and go into my project folders and check out who I've collected. So as you can see here, there's a number of tabs: your profiles, the searches that you've done, the search alerts that you've saved, and of course the jobs that you posted. One key thing about the jobs, again, is that you have a job slot model. So these are not your traditional job postings that you put onto LinkedIn.com that are 30 days and then you start a whole new one. These job slots give you a rotating model where you can go in and out. Post a job for the social media manager 1 month, take it down, and put in an advertisement for an engineer. So you can post as many jobs at any time, whenever you want, throughout the year with this model. Pretty basic, and all you have to do is go ahead, choose how you want it routed, and then post the job. One of the nice things that we do with our jobs is that we also give you matches. So within seconds after posting the job, we'll serve up to 50 profile matches within the LinkedIn network that LinkedIn has found for you that match the criteria that you're looking for. So now let's go ahead and go into the profiles. Here is where I can do the mass messaging. Again, in one shot, I can send up to 25 people the same message, but they're all very personalized. By sending this message, you can see the salutations are here to personalize that so that every single person gets them individually, and it looks like you spent a lot of time really picking out exactly who you want to reach out to. We also provide you templates, or the option to save a template. So when you go in, you don't have to copy, rewrite, copy and paste the same message that was very effective for you months ago. You can go in, choose the template you like, and it populates that message for you, and off you go. So within 5 minutes, I collected 25 profiles, shot them off a message, and now all I have to do is wait for them to respond. And when they do, they're exactly who I wanted. They match all the criteria that I'm looking for. And one great thing about the LinkedIn profile is that they're as up-to-date as possible. So when people go in and they change their profile, you don't have to worry about it being a stale resume that's been sitting in the database for months or years. Now what I can go ahead and do is also take advantage of the relationships that I have with my hiring managers. For many of you, you have a great relationship with them, and you're constantly working with them day in and day out to share with them who exactly you're reaching out to. With LinkedIn Recruiter, you now have that opportunity to interact with them all in one platform. By sharing these 25 candidates, I can go in, choose my director or my hiring manager that I want to reach out to, pick the job that I'm sharing with him, and letting him know that I have profiles for him to review. So now what Mark can do is he can go in with a LinkedIn.com account. All he has to do is have a profile on LinkedIn and check out exactly who I sent him. Here's an example of how it looks. I choose my profiles, as I showed you a second ago, share it with my hiring managers, and then the hiring managers can go in, click on the link, find the profiles that I've shared with him, and decide whether I should ignore them, if they're good, or if they're a great fit for the job. Once they've completed that review, I get a notification in my alerts letting me know that Mark has just reviewed those profiles, and then I can choose whether or not I want to send an in-mail to the people that he likes and to ignore the people that he'd rather I not contact. So it's a great way to build that relationship with your hiring managers and really get them involved on LinkedIn Recruiter. So that's a very quick high-level overview of LinkedIn Recruiter. So we have over 150,000 small business customers to date, and 20% of them are international revenue. So we have clients from all over the world taking advantage of the LinkedIn corporate solutions. So we pride ourselves with the ongoing customer service that we provide our clients. We want to maximize the full potential of LinkedIn recruiting solutions by providing you with a dedicated relationship manager. These are subject matter experts. We're very proactive and consultative, and our sole focus is on client success. We understand that for many of you, this is a change in your strategy, and we want to make sure that we're there for you throughout your investment with LinkedIn. We provide you with live training, product consultants, customer service, and we want to make sure that every step of the way you're as successful as possible, whether it's training for your entire team or to include your hiring managers. We're absolutely there for you. So why use LinkedIn recruiting solutions? We want to help you find and attract the very best passive and tough to find talent. By accessing the largest pool of top passive candidates as well as active candidates, you'll be able to boost your efficiency and scale. We understand with the change that's happening, people are really proactive, and we want to make sure that not only are you changing the way you're doing recruiting, but we want you to be where the people are, because potential candidates are changing the way they're looking for new career opportunities as well. We want to help you reduce the time and cost of filling your jobs, and we want to help you target your messages to the right audience on LinkedIn. And then we also have additional resources that you can take advantage of, whether it's our upcoming webcast hosted by members of the LinkedIn team or experts in the recruiting industry, our LinkedIn Corporate Recruiting Solutions homepage, or 24/7 recorded webcast that you can check out to learn a little bit more about our LinkedIn recruiting solutions. Thank you so much, and I hope you found the information useful.